Well, I want to start with a little bit of the older, sort of the elementary school age children. The awareness is there, but I don't think the practice is in place, meaning the children that are diagnosed with ADD, ADHD type problems, they're not being screened for sleep. And the latest research I'm reading is every one of those children should have sleep evaluation, meaning sleep is a really significant promoter of these behavioral attention deficit problems. Well, that makes sense. Who of us is going to function well with disrupted sleep or deprived sleep, right? I mean, you take any of us and you deprive us of sleep for more than a couple, 3 days, we're going to go nuts. Well, this poor kid who needs 12, 14, 16 hours of sleep, and they're not getting that sleep, and now you expect them to sit still for 6 hours in class and learn, forget it, the game is over. So that is been established, right? This whole idea that ADD and sleep problems coexist like 80% of the time. So what are you going to do in a 3 or a 4 or 5-year-old? Let's say a 5 or a 6-year-old. You really don't, you can't put braces on the teeth. You aren't going to use maybe hardcore orthopedic appliances. That's a perfect way to slide into something that's very easy to do for the child and very profound, meaning get them nasally breathing. Of course, evaluate for airway obstruction. You have to do that. Tonsils, adenoids, get them nasally breathing. The other issues we see are really cognitive problems. And we now know in the latest sleep research that you cannot consolidate memories, you cannot cognitively solve problems without a sufficient quantity of non-REM deep sleep, of course, and REM sleep. We say non-REM sleep typically is a lot about the body, but it's also about the brain, but REM sleep is for the brain. You've got to have both. So you're going to have all kinds of issues. They know that your immune system is going to be affected negatively, so you can have chronic problems with infections if you're sleep deprived. You're going to have, we now know that bedwetting is tied to, unfortunately, sleep problems. Makes sense. You just don't have the deep sleep. Aggressive behaviors, cognitive issues that are not ADD, where learning disabilities, even growth problems. So the child isn't sleeping well, they're not secreting growth hormone, they're going to fall behind on their growth trajectory. They're going to be under the normal curve for their age. They're going to have metabolic problems. You're going to have weight gain. I mean, if you don't sleep well, you're going to have stress, you're going to have excess cortisol, you're going to have unstable blood sugar, you're already going to have this pre-metabolic syndrome. And a kid, I would say pre-metabolic for kids, metabolic for adults, pre-diabetic. You're going to have that problem going on. So you're going to have these metabolic issues because, again, we don't, as a culture, we don't value, I think, enough the benefit of sleep, but fortunately, the leading researchers, I mean, the leading clinicians and researchers in the fields of anti-aging and longevity, I listen to all of them, I read all of them. Well, guess what they say? Sleep is now number 1 or 2. They now realize if you want to live a long life and be healthy and avoid disease or degenerative problems, sleep is on the top of the list. That's easy, that's cheap, that's free. If you correct your sleep, you're protecting your health.